Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here for some more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Today, we're going to be going over this week's update. We have a returning raid and some additional items in the Time Patrol Metal Shop. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like, turn on post notifications, and let's go over here to the official Xenoverse 2 website. We have the Time Patroller Lite raid. I highly recommend doing this just because they're going to be giving out some epic rewards. The last time we've seen this specific raid here was last year, 2024. I think it's been a little over a year, maybe 13 months. So it's very cool to see this raid returning just because we don't just go up against the Xenoverse 2 mascot, Ban. I think he has two names, Ban, B-A-N, and Me, M-E-E, just because when you do go up against him, his username does say Me. It is kind of strange. But we also go up against Ace, the Xenoverse 1 mascot, as well as a plethora of other different CACs. And it's not on the same stage as well, so we get to fight either on Paul Landing, Wasteland, the Sky stage, or even Tournament of Power. I think we also go up against Time Patroller Trunks. Don't quote me on that. It does say Time Patroller, right? Trunks is obviously a Time Patroller. It's not specifically CAC Time Patrollers. This raid is not currently live at the time of recording this. It's September 3rd. This raid will go live tomorrow, September 4th, specifically at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, up until September 10th, 10 p.m. So definitely tune in. We'll go ahead and break down the rewards. Xbox, it's going to start 7 hours later, September 5th, 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so very early in the morning, to September 11th, 5 a.m. As for the rewards, the participation badge, Mr. Hercule, we get one of those, as well as 50 Time Patrol medals. The individual goal rewards, if you deal 5,000 damage, you'll get 50 Time Patrol medals, the name More, Papillon's costume, the Trunks color theme, hands, as well as Papillon's wig, and Broly's battle suit. So we get quite a few if we just reach 5,000 damage, as well as 300 or the 357 illustration, which, by the way, big thanks to Genic for always providing additional info. I believe 357 is going to be the top left sensu, right? It's kind of simple. It just says Dragon Ball with the sensu right there. I like how simplistic it is. And yeah, the Tapion outfit, I don't think these were given out for over a year. They do have 4 or 5 different variations of the Tapion uniform. The Trunks theme, the blue, red, golds, and I think those are the 4. Oh, of course, the original one. So yeah, there's a total of 5. It's been about a year ever since they handed these out. So definitely do this raid. I can't stress that enough. You only have to reach 50,000 damage to get the entire outfit. If you deal 15,000 damage, you'll get 50 additional medals, 20 Super Time Patrol medals, the bottom parts of the Tapion costume, and the title Time Patroller. You guys know the logos right besides the username. For example, I have the DBS logo. Yeah, you can get the Time Patroller one. Kind of cool. Pretty much a freebie. Just because for all the other logos, you have to get them through, you know, online tournaments, and it's pretty dang tough. Oh yeah, and speaking of online tournaments, didn't the Tapion outfits, the only way to get them back in the day were through the online tournaments? And then last year, as I mentioned, they started distributing the Tapion outfits, and yeah, this is the second time that they're doing it via the raids. Kind of cool. The last reward you'll get if you deal 15,000 damage would be the illustration 149. That's going to be the Future Trunks going up against Goku Black. 30,000 damage, 50 original medals, 30 Super Time Patrol medals, the top parts of the Trunks theme Tapion costume, and illustration 545. The super villainous Perfect Cell. That was an epic mission. You know, we got Great Saiyaman, Gamma 1 and 2, the hero theme, if you will. If you deal 50,000 damage, that'll be an additional 50 original medals, 40 Super Time Patrol medals, the shoes of Tapion's Trunks theme costume, and the limited illustration 1040 as per usual, going to be the Dragon Ball Breakers collaboration. Future Trunks Super Saiyan Rage or Super Saiyan 2. This is how you do Super Saiyan Rage Trunks properly, man. Look at that. The hair, it's a lot taller, sharper, right? We have kind of like the blue highlight going over Trunks. We don't necessarily have like the accurate aura just because this is a different take, just an illustration of the character, right? But Xenoverse 2, we don't have Rage Trunks. Why not? Very strange when you think about it. It's like a core part of Dragon Ball Super, the future Trunks saga, right? A brand new transformation. Well, man, I mean, technically they could still give us that transformation for Trunks as a standalone character for one of the future chapter DLCs. That would be kind of cool. But going back over here, if you deal 100,000 damage, 50 original medals, 50 Super Time Patrol medals, the name Avenger, the Chilai wig, and illustration 198. 198 is going to be where Blue Vegeta's passed out. Oh yeah, this is where he overpowered the Few mind control. Hey, he did it once before with Babidi, Majin Mark. He can do it again with ease. A few should have known, to be honest. So, real quick, here we have the outfits / accessories over the CAC. The complete Trunks themed Tapion uniform, far left with the Tapion wig. And then the centerpiece, that's going to be the Bardock, or not Bardock, DVS Broly uniform. Now, I think this raid would just hand out the Broly battlesuit, so we won't get the shoes or the wig. It's just going to be the torso piece, the armor. Actually, because there are two DBS Broly battlesuits out there, one with the collar and one without the collar. I think the one from this raid is going to be the one without the collar, right? And then last but not least, the Chilai wig. And real quick, before we jump over to the game itself, I want to bring this up. So I'm sure we all know that Gekigen Squadra is doing this pre-registration campaign. If we reach the 3 million mark, we'll unlock Goku Mini for free. If we don't reach that mark, then we'll have to unlock them with the in-game currency. But that's not the important part. The important part is that they're doing collaborations with other Dragon Ball games. This is something that I broke down before. We have Dokkan Battle and Legends. Well, a couple days ago, I think 3 days ago, yeah, August 31st, they went ahead and dropped this. Still time to register for Dragon Ball Gekigen Squadra. Over 2 million pre-registrations so far. Let's hit 3 million, and all players from Dragon Ball console games will get in-game rewards. Dragon Ball Fighters, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and even Dragon Ball The Breakers. I feel like this is like their final attempt, their last resort, if you want to call it that, for us to reach that 3 million mark, because the game does drop here in the next 6 or 7 days, September 9th. And yeah, they're pushing it. They're pushing it. If you reach the 3 million mark, you can get all these epic rewards for all the console Dragon Ball games. I mean, these rewards aren't too crazy if you ask me. So fighters, if we do reach the 3 million pre-registrations for Gekigen Squadra, we'll get 200,000 Zeni and 30 Hercule gold badges. I'm not too familiar with fighters, so I don't necessarily know what the in-game currency unlocks. Maybe outfits? Yeah, different color outfits. Xenoverse 2, 100 Time Patrol medals. Not too bad. Not too bad, you have to say. And 3 blue capsules, 3 orange capsules, 3 green capsules, and 1 red capsule. Of course, you know, some of them will be like energy regen or power buffs, whatever. For Sparking Zero, we'll be getting 300,000 Zeni, which you can unlock items, soundtracks, voice lines, outfits for some of the characters, purchase characters themselves. You actually get to buy a lot with the Sparking Zero currency, and the complete set of the Shenron Dragon Balls. That would actually be a cool reward for Xenoverse 2, right? Giving us the complete set of the Dragon Balls, just because I have 1 out of the 7, and I drastically need to change my CAC because I went ahead and made that bootleg Ultra Ego Vegeta video. Yeah, haven't changed the appearance of my character back to the original look just yet. And that would have been a big help, man, because I still don't think I'll be able to accumulate all the rest of the 6 Dragon Balls before Genshin Squadra drops. Dragon Ball The Breakers, we'll get 20,000 Zenny. What can we buy in The Breakers? Can't remember off the top of my head. I think like outfits for your custom character, or like accessories, emblems, stuff like that. Keychains. 10,000 fire emblems. I think that's how you buy skills for the cast characters. 5 spirit siphon, of course, the tickets in order to summon. I don't think 5's even enough for a multi-summon. And 5 Season 9 tickets. You can do individual summons though, so I guess that's cool. 5 free Season 9 character tickets, right? And that's the additional news in regards to Xenoverse 2 and the other console games. Now let's go over to the actual game itself. They updated the Metal Shop on the 30th of August, so about 4 days ago, and they're going to go ahead and recycle the shop once again in about 3 more days on the 6th of September. So we have the dual ultimates. I usually mainly focus on the outfits just because the custom variants, they are very cool. Angles, clothes, of course, the henchmen from the first DBZ Broly movie. We have Bojack's outfit. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it kind of suits this bootleg Vegeta, right? Battle suit restraints. Wait, so the battle suit without the collar, that's technically a little bit more rare because that only comes around with the raid rewards. And the battle suit restraint, yeah, we can purchase this via the Metal Shop. Okay, I just realized that. Yeah, this is a cool one to get. Oh, it's the custom variant. Hey, man, we're about to get the non-collar one. If you really want this one to collect them all, then feel free. I don't even have this custom variant just yet. I should probably pick that one up, to be honest. Anyway, it will cost you 150 for the Broly Restraints variants, 100 for the Bojack outfit pieces, and another 100 for all of the Anglo pieces. Accessory, nothing new. Super Souls, I'm not missing any this time around. Something dope is about to happen from Bardock. Gifts, Hercule, Fusamasu, and Gohan. Fusamasu, as we all know, this is a great way to accumulate the Demon Realm crystals. Just hands the, raid boss warrior gifts, Zamasu, Mira, or Demigra. Give those gifts over to Fu, and then he'll go ahead and convert them over to the crystals. And then you can use those crystals to create very good QQ bangs. Mascots, Majin Buu, Icarus. Art pieces. Original ones, that Beast Gohan one is immaculate, and 612 OG Dragon Ball in-game one. A lot of the CGI cutscenes, the pre-rendered videos. This is it for today's video. I would normally... Whoa! Wait, there's a modder for the Kantan City Hero? Dude, the eyes! The pupils is just one solid color with the Super Saiyan 3 hairstyle. How come we don't even have that wig for our CACs? Yeah, definitely a modder. #1 time patroller. Cheating their way to the top, you already know. But if the raid was active, then of course I would go ahead and do that. But I guess I'll try that some other video. The raid currently should be the Gogeta one. Yeah, it's still happening. Again, the Time Patroller raid won't start until tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so stay tuned for that. This is it for today's video. Thank you guys for the immense support as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace!